Hi everybody, I'm Paul.
And I'm Megan with Dreaming Out Loud RV.
We are trading the everyday for a better day. Okay.
So how cool was it to do our first premiere the other night? It was. We learned a lot, and but for our first one, I thought it was really awesome. And how awesome is the support from the YouTube community?
I didn't think anybody was even going to show up, but I'm so glad you guys did. Thank you so much for participating in our first premiere video. I think the video could have been a little bit better, but you know, we are who we are.
But on top of that, just the fact that everybody that showed up was so kind with their comments, but also willing to help share out our video. I mean, Red, White, and Bethune had it on Instagram. Camper Life was sharing it out to all of his folks.
Yeah.
And then we find Blind Views.
Yeah. Blind Views is awesome. He's on YouTube as well.
Yes.
So
we're
I'm
big
sure
fans.
Anybody that knows us probably already knows him, but if you've never heard of Blind Views, definitely go check him out. Dude is awesome. We love him. And he's been a great supporter of us, and we really appreciate that.
He's always so nice to give us a shout out, and we so appreciate it.
He's definitely helped our channel.
But honestly, we just appreciate everybody's support, and just the fact that anybody showed up was super cool. So thank you to everybody, and it helps us to feel connected to everyone out there and just more excited to just get out and go.
Yeah. If you didn't catch our last video, we'll put a link at the end of this video for it. But you saw us picking up our new camper. We thank everybody that watched that video and celebrated that with us. We certainly appreciate it.
It was fun. It was fun doing the premiere. I was a little bit nervous, but to be able to share that excitement was really cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So, you can see in the video we chose a Durango. It's made by KZ. It's a Durango Gold 382 MBQ. And why did we choose that rig? There were two major things with that rig. It checked off all the boxes, most all the boxes, but two of the things was, one, Megan has to have an office space, so this has a dedicated room that we can use just for her office. She deals with medical records and things like that she talks about. Some of that's confidential, so she needs to be in her little space.
We need to be HIPAA compliant.
Yeah, oh, HIPAA compliant. I'm sorry, I'm looking down. Our little Pebbles is running around down here. You always got to be scritching her.
It's all about Pebbles, always.
Yep. And then the other thing was the deck. You know, I've always wanted to get a toy hauler. Megan's not a toy hauler kind of person. So this way I get my rear patio deck, she gets her office, and we get more of a living space in the fifth wheel.
And we came across that totally by accident. If y'all remember, we went to the Tampa show last year. Totally had a different camper in mind. And if they had it there, we would have bought it and brought it home with us.
Absolutely.
Because we thought it was the one.
We took our van last year, and we were thinking, we're going to buy it and then come back down and pick it up because we were trying to get the show price.
That's right. We were trying to lock in that show deal that you always hear about.
Yeah.
And it just happened to be the dry campers were working on the solar in the van.
Leanna and Megan went into to get Mike something to eat, and I was hanging out with him at the van, and Leanna saw the camper first, right?
We just happened to walk by, and she's like, oh, that's a really cool model. If you like the deck, you should look at that. It's a fifth wheel with a deck. So we took a quick peek, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this checks like almost all the boxes we've ever checked.
Right.
So we ran back, and I grabbed Paul, and a big rainstorm was coming. They were shutting everything up, so we literally had like 5 minutes to look at it.
Not even that. It was just like a minute.
We breezed through, but we knew right off the bat that it was probably the one.
Yeah, it was worth checking out when we got back to Virginia. So we got back to Virginia. Long story short, we researched, found a dealer here. Their price was astronomical, so we found a dealer in Pennsylvania. Now their price was a few $1,000s more than the show price, which was still respectable. Mm-hmm. So we placed an order for a 2022 model, which took a long time to get, but it was well worth the wait. In our last video we mentioned, did they stick it to us on price? Did we give in? And did the camper come in as ordered? You know, we've heard all these horror stories, which we have a couple videos back of the frustrations. So you might want to check that video out where we talk about waiting for this rig and the delays we were facing and the fears we had. And one of them was when the camper came in, we'd end up getting hit with this cost from the manufacturer that they pass on the cost to the dealer, and they pass it on to the consumer. And we've heard all these horror stories of everybody paying $10, $15, even $20,000 more than what they actually ordered the rig for. Well,
and I would just say too, that's where it's kind of hard. You listen to all these outside voices, outside sources, without really even knowing what to expect. It's
Right.
more the fear and the anticipation of, what if we wait all these months and for the rig that we think is the rig of our dreams, and then it comes in and they want to jack the price up and we have to walk away. That
Right.
was really scary.
and we were
So,
prepared for that.
yeah.
We had a dollar amount in mind we would go up to, which wasn't very much. And then after that, we would just, I guess, after that, we would just settle for another rig, and we didn't want to settle. So there's a lot to be said for Lurch RV in Milroy, Pennsylvania.
Absolutely. We have to give
Yeah.
a huge shout out to Lurch IV.
Chris, the salesman,
Yeah, awesome.
and Sean, the tech that gave us our walkthrough.
I mean, everybody there from start to finish was awesome, and they're super pet friendly, like dogs everywhere.
Dogs running all over the showroom.
Yeah, they love
Yeah.
it if you bring your pets.
Yeah, we got a phone call that said our rig was in, so we were ecstatic. So we're like, we want to come pick it up ASAP. So it took like 10 days for them to get it, the PDI done, check it all out, and get it ready for delivery. We handed over a fat check, that kind of stung.
Worth it.
Yeah,
Investment.
yeah.
So in our last video, we had specific questions we left you with. So we wanted to come back and kind of report back and tell you the answers to those questions. Did they gouge us or stick us with a higher amount?
Gouge us.
Yeah, and we were like, did we give in, or was it what we signed for?
So, Peggy's just snorting. So, we didn't give in.
Nope.
And they didn't gouge us.
Never even mentioned it.
Never mentioned
Never
anything
mentioned
about any kind of markup for anything that was substituted or anything like that. The price we paid was the price we agreed on back in May.
Right.
So we were tickled with that.
It was to the penny, exactly what our bill of sale that we signed, and with the deposit we put down back in May. Nothing different. It was awesome. It was such a relief, and the fact that they never even pressured us and even brought it up.
No. So our salesman went out and took some pictures of the rig for us because we did order it with a couple of specific requests. So he went out and photoed those items. So the rig came in not like the one we ordered. We got an awesome rig. So the patio doors on the back had like these Venetian blinds. Is that what you call
What are
them?
those plastic slatted
Long, wide, slat
slots?
things. We never did like those anyway because they would make all kind of noise, and we just didn't think they were that attractive. So when this camper came in, it didn't have those. It had this real nice soft curtain that comes across.
That was a good thing that it was different.
Right, that was a good replacement. Maybe that's an upgrade for 22. I don't know. Maybe all the 22s are coming like that, but we like
Probably
that.
got some feedback on the other ones,
Yeah.
I'm sure. But
We really like that.
but tell them the even better difference between the 21 and the 22.
The colors.
Mm.
Yeah, so if our 22 had come in with the same cabinetry as a 21, we were going to paint it.
Eventually, it was. We had already talked about it being a project down the road because it was this real dark wood.
Everything was dark. We wanted to whitewash it.
Yeah, or at least brighten it up in some way.
Yeah. So the 22 came in with the country, I think they call it
It's
farm
like a
country.
beautiful, whitewash farm country look.
Yeah.
And it makes a huge difference. It's so light and bright and airy in
Yeah.
there.
And we're going to do a
Nice.
complete walkthrough soon, and we'll show you everything in it. And
Maybe we'll slide a picture or two.
yeah. So then the other thing that came in that we're not as excited about is in the mid room, and I'll try to put a picture of the one that we looked at. The difference is the mid room had no bunk in there.
Right. It was more where the slide was. It was the frame, but it was a big back window and two side windows. So where my office is going to be, even though the sofa can come out so it can be used as a bedroom,
Yeah.
it was much brighter, and I don't know. It just felt more open.
Right.
So this one came in, and there's actually a bunk up there, and there's just the one window, and we'll
Yeah.
show a picture of that.
So it's a little bit darker of a room. There's a lot of lights in there, but we're gonna take probably the window treatment off that window to open it up to keep it more natural light. So that's the only thing that came in different than what we ordered that we weren't happy about, but it wasn't a deal breaker by any
Right.
means.
It's to that point. It's still so minimal that we're like, we can live with it. I
Right.
mean, we certainly weren't going to turn it down after all that, but
Yeah.
so we can definitely work with it. And like Paul said, we can modify it. We found even if you take those back cushions off the couch, it opens the window up several inches and lets in a lot more light.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it out.
And we left Lurch RV, and then we stopped at Twin Grove Campground in Pine Grove, Pennsylvania. And we pulled in, did a pull-through site. All the systems worked okay, so then we pulled out of the campground and we started heading back south to Virginia. It was a beautiful day for the drive. We get back into Virginia and we get over to my sister's house, and she's been so gracious to allow us to keep it at her house.
Thank you so much.
And
And along with all the other shortages, it's hard to find a place to store your camper
we could not
these days.
find a storage unit anywhere. So on the way home, we took a shortcut over these mountains. We couldn't help but put the truck to the test. We wanted to see how the truck would pull this camper up these grades and how it would handle it going down grades. Now, we've done this mountain pass several times with all of our rigs. It was just interesting to see how well this truck would do with this kind of weight. And it really did good. It was very impressive. Some of the turns were tight, and we got slowed down to about 15 miles an hour and had to power out of them. And I tell you, the truck is definitely overpowered for this camper, so we're very excited. So coming over these mountains is not really a big deal. There's a lot of people that are afraid to pull their rigs over through here, but tractor trailers come up and down these mountains all the time, several times a day. We've done it with rigs. You just got to take your time and pay attention. Every now and then you do get the guys on the crotch rockets flying by you being crazy, but other than that, we really had no issues. Well, we hope you enjoyed this little video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit that thumbs down twice. And until the next video,
We hope you're trading the everyday for a better day.